call Colette Stevenson to be followed by Gillian Mackay.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I welcome this debate and want to start on a positive note by celebrating that football contributes significantly to the culture, social, economic and sporting fabric of Scotland. This includes through the work of the Scottish FA, which celebrates its 150th anniversary in 2023. Football right across the country and in every single one of our communities contributes to healthy lives, socialisation and even to careers and lifelong interests for so many of our young people. Millions of Scots attend games every year and pour money into the economy while enjoying football. And it isn't only the clubs which benefit, it is also the hospitality sector, food and drink producers and indeed transport companies. So, Presiding Officer, transport providers brings me nicely to my next point. I too, like many football fans, the length and breadth of Scotland, was outraged that the Traffic Commissioners for Great Britain published proposals last week to change the guidelines around supporters' buses in Scotland. If introduced, the changes would have had an impact on every fan travelling by bus to a game in a country. A joint statement from the Scottish FA, Scottish Professional Football League and Scottish Women's Premier League said the proposals were unnecessary and heavy-handed. These plans came without any consultation with the Scottish Government, and it would appear no consultation with Scottish football clubs, and they seemed completely unworkable. Reaction from Scottish football fans was overwhelmingly negative, and Minister for Social Care, Mental Wellbeing and Sport, Marie Todd, wrote to the Commissioner to better understand where the ludicrous proposals came from. As a result, the Traffic Commissioners for Great Britain ceased the consultation exercise, and I add my thanks to the Minister. So, Presiding Officer, the scrapping of these ridiculous proposals is a victory for every Scottish football fan who stood up and made their voice heard loud and clear. The whole episode reeked of complete snobbery, and the very fact that the UK Traffic Commissioner tried to do this speaks volumes of the contempt in which they hold our national game. Scottish football is something to be celebrated, and our fans should be heralded, and perhaps it is time for consideration about how football fans are treated more broadly. Let's ensure this type of attack on our national game never happens again, and let's treat supporters like we do everyone else fairly, and I ask the Minister to continue to act in this vein. Yes?
Douglas Lumsden.
I thank the member for taking an intervention, and I do think that we should be treating everyone fairly. So does she think that the licensing laws that discriminate between football and rugby, for example, should be looked at again?
Colette Stevenson.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and we should actually look at that again. Thank you. So, Presiding Officer, as an advocate for equality with a particular interest in women's participation in sport, I want to touch on women's football and celebrate the success of women's football in Scotland. I welcome that the Scottish Government is a committed and long-standing supporter of women's and girls' football. Great progress has been made in recent years, and the Scottish Government is working with the Scottish FA and Scottish Women's Football to build on those strong foundations. The Scottish women's national team now plays at Hampden and has delivered record crowds for women's qualifiers in Scotland. Elite women's football became the responsibility of the Scottish Professional Football League from season 2020 to 23. The Scottish FA published its bespoke women's football strategy, Accelerate Our Game, in 2021. And this strategy is actually helping to harness that power to ensure women and girls football in Scotland goes from strength to strength. The Scottish Government wants to increase participation of women and girls in sport, and the success of the women's team will inspire more women and girls to get involved in sport from grassroots activity to elite level. This includes the East Kilbride Thistle Girls Football Club in my constituency. The team have gone from strength to strength in recent times, and a great example of an inspirational Scottish women's football team. I would like to extend an invite to the Minister to visit the team when her diary allows. A Across Scotland, policymakers, businesses, institutions and individuals are embracing new ways of thinking to prioritise our collective well-being and help build flourishing communities. The Scottish FA commissioned a Wellbeing Alliance Scotland report to inform policymakers about the value of football and assist them with its potential contribution to policies aimed at building a wellbeing economy. Football has long been at the heart of Scotland's communities and has a unique reach. It is played and watched by children, young people and adults across Scotland, in the streets, in parks, in halls, on pitches and in stadiums. It is a sport that everyone should be able to get involved in when provision is tailored. Teams can comprise players of different ages, genders, physical ability and levels of performance. It should and must continue to be celebrated. So, Presiding Officer, in conclusion, I again want to celebrate the contribution of football to Scotland. I welcome the scrapping of the ridiculous guidance by the UK Traffic Commissioner and ask that we all work to celebrate the contribution of football, particularly women's football, to Scotland. Thank you.